Welcome, everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to perform transformations on exponential functions. How are we learning it? Through the exponential functions notes and the exponential functions assignment. When can we use this information? To recognize the similarities between problems and understand how their solutions might also be similar. How do we know we learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the exponential functions assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. After that, we'll go over the exponential functions notes, and then I'll give you time to complete the exponential functions assignment on Desmos. Once you've completed the assignment, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is continue working on the Reasoning with Families of Functions study guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the exponential functions notes. The notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. Now, what is an exponential function? An exponential function is a function that forms a curved line that has a line it will never cross or has a horizontal asymptote. So, for instance, we have our function here. It goes up like this. So it has this single curve. And notice it has a horizontal asymptote here at 0. It never crosses it. So exponential functions always form a curve. So it could look like that. It could slide over. It could flip and go the other direction. It could go downward. Whatever it is, it's going to have this singular curve though. So exponential functions are of this form. Y equals a to the x times b. Or you may see it as f of x equals a to the x times b if it's in function notation. So an example of this would be y equals 3 to the x times 4. And when we graph that, it looks like this. Now, understanding the parent functions. So what is the parent function for that? The parent function looks like this. F of x equals b to the x. So the a part drops off, and this is the parent function. This is the simplest way it can look. So then, how could we write g of x in terms of f? So that means we want to take this basic form, and then convert it to look like this. Well, we can see that if f of x is equal to b to the x, which is here, that means that we could just plug that in for b to the x, and so this becomes g of x is equal to a times f of x.
Let's talk now about how to sign in to Desmos to complete your work. So what we're going to do is you're going to click on the link to go to the assignment, and it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. And right here where it says sign in with Google, we're going to click there. And it's going to pop up with our email accounts. You're going to click on your school email account, and it should already have you logged in because you should have already been logged in using Google Classroom. From there, I'm just going to click Start the Activity, and it will take me into the assignment and allow me to begin. So that's how you will log in to Desmos using Google.
Take a look now at the exponential functions assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, we can see a link to the Desmos activity. Go ahead and click on that link, and it should take you to a page that looks like this. We'll go ahead and click Start the Activity. The activity begins with the learning goals and success criteria. We'll go ahead and click Next. So it says, what is the parent function f for the equation g of x equals 81 times 1/9 to the x? Well, we would say that f of x is equal to whatever our base value is, so 1/9 to the x power. That is our parent function. Now, we need to write g of x in terms of f of x, so we'd say g of x is equal to, well, we have our base value, so f of x here. And then what did we do to it? Well, we multiply by 81. So this is just 81 times f of x. And then you'll do that for each of these. So you'll state for each of these what it is. So for instance here, we have f of x is equal to the base value, which is 10, to the x power. Now we need to write this in terms of that. So this is g of x is equal to, we have f of x here, and we divided by 0.01, or we could say 1 over 0.001 being multiplied. So that's how we would state that. Then we'll click next. We'll do the same thing here. So again, our f of x is the base value to the x, and then our g of x is just going to multiply whatever's left with f of x. And then when you're done with that activity, you'll go ahead and go back to your Google form and click next. This will take you to your before you go. Go ahead and fill out your before you go, and then submit your work on Google Classroom.